is day 760 of the Arukh HaShulchan. They come back. People like to sponsor upcoming share more of the Arukh HaShulchan. Please contact me directly. Very greatly appreciated. Today we're doing Simon Tov Samar Zayin Mem Beis to Mem Vav. Mem Beis. Ma'aser Shalis. Ma'aser with a servant Shevi Klisin made vash who brought a vessel with the honey waters going med, which is called mead. Lishtos to drink Venitza Bochita, and they found a kernel of wheat in there. And when they said Shabbat if it's cold, Eino Oser Avishin Samsa. It doesn't answer even though it became chametz. Mosh Kosab had toured the Eino Oser B'Tzonen. The rights it doesn't answer if it's cold. Shevet Tamar Shoytz Beis. Shemishla made vash. Maybe you'll say it was there when they cooked the honey water. If they had Pesach before Pesach, they can't go on his batla. That's not a problem because it was already bought. It doesn't wake up again at Pesach. Even though the wheat kernel is still inside the dish, we come concern who nevertheless it's cold. But it doesn't make it usher. The real das and feed das and machmir b'tzonen, and those are machmir by cold. If I'm serving the chazman, it also wakes up again. Which time was simon tough memsai. Come ein less rak masha b'keli. You still only answer that which is in the keli where the kernel of grain is found. The love of it's not the entire barrel. Shari ein mechzikim makam makam. We already saw that you don't machzik isser from one place to another place. We don't assume. Came from another place. We say it fell into this vessel. It's not into the barrel. Shulchan adds the brackets here, but some of it does the he says if you come around the Taz outright that it's okay. So it's not usher, so that doesn't lose. Sheish kamas feikos v'duk. There's several feikos. And you can explore this further. Mem Gil, because I mean, says to you, Movim Megil, Yura, Mechumetzes Bas Yoma. If you did a gola, you kashed a chamid stick of pot, which had been used as stuff same day. If you are doing my Mechumetzes Lebor, B'toch Pesach, and that water fell into a well within Pesach, I guess for some reason you kept that water, that water, I don't know why. Also shows me in my Pesach, now I have to drink water from that well on Pesach. The shushin sorry because it got mixed up. Akan l'shono. End quote. The diktek lomar shebetola Pesach. They say it was meticulous to specify during Pesach. The Kodesh Pesach work before Pesach. Finds batel. It's already no. Ve'enochos evener doesn't wake up again. But some see top mem sign like we were previously. The chatchila vade also, but certainly to deliberately take water from there, is definitely also. Asher yechol ito mai baracha. Let's take water from another well. The Mishnah Berurah says, that in this case here, the chametz came into the vessel on Pesach. Ragola, the kasha was before Pesach. So I guess the point is that it wasn't there at the time the kasha came afterwards. Which says also that even if 60 corresponding to the kernel of grain, you should use that water. Go take the water from somewhere else. Okay, back to the Arukh HaShulchan. Possession these that which he said is also because of they were mixed together. This is what he needs to say. The feel mind this feeling, even according to that which hold they know that cold is not a problem. That's about wheat or bread which found water. A mind, but water and water, they get mixed together. But also share Pesach, and should be also in Pesach comes. Okay, so that means if you have the water which chametz occurred, that's a problem. It's going to be close in there on Pesach. Because the water now is called chametz water. If that which is fermented is recognizable, but in the atzmum and they are by themselves, even when they're in the well, I guess if they have some sort of substance like a rust or something like that, I'm not sure exactly how that works. Osin gam the evet. After going to Pesach, the answer even with the evet. Even they fell before Pesach came to the chametz because you can point. Zeh chametz van veilu. But his battle therefore is never nullified. Key dins a little shit cloud and archbo. It's not very prevalent halacha. We don't have to spend 5 minutes. Mem doubt. Melicha Pesach, in doing salting on Pesach, there's many opinions. Hatur b'shem rokeh kosab chita shlim says b'tam goes melucha. If you found a kernel of wheat in a salted bird, v'nim melucha ma'acheres and other birds were salted together with this bird. Also, the bird upon which the kernel of grain was found is also chametz is pesach mashu, because the chametz of pesach is even a mashu. Bashar matar, so it must have permissible. Rabbi Elisam is pasuk that feel also that it goes eina asura kula. He said even that chicken in which you find the kernel, it's only not the entire thing. So ela naitamakam a piyapur. Take the place where it would have spread in its taste, which would be the finger's breadth all around it. The saying is schema rush vasmak. Let's agree with this. Shadis feeling dafgad malikos. The both opinions hold that even though something which is salt is like it's boiling. Never the substance of prohibition can't go out from piece to piece below rotev without some sort of medium of sauce. I forgot that it's a shame machamim. Even though by a fatty we say it can spread even without sauce. There is no such thing as a fatty prohibited substance. People say no. When you sort them together, all the pieces are awesome. Yesh lebaratam, we can explain why this is. The came of the babasar, yeshuman sits in the meat there is fat, mefafei, iser, bechaticha, there's expressed from piece to piece, gam below rotev, even without sauce. The chametz of Pesach have mashu as long as it's chametz on Pesach itself, which is a mashu. Yesh mentioned tzrichim liklov shari basar nimtza ima. So we require you to peel the other pieces of meat which are found with it. That's if it's found on the chicken. Because maybe you're concerned that it might touch any of the chickens. And it's the third that goes, if found in the chicken, ain't a shatzrim kula b'dika. And a shatzrim is kluma there, so you don't have anything for the other chickens. Even more than that, even that piece itself only requires peeling. Memhe. If you doubt it. It's good to move guys. You find a cracked kernel of wheat, but tiny goes in the hen and the chicken, the hen before it's salted. Daibishtiv, it's enough to mince its place. The chaimalicha, if it's after salting, daibichlip, it's enough to take off a thin layer around it. Those are more machin. They say you have to dig deep all around where you found a kernel of grain. And you toss that. If other birds get we could go with this one, which had the isser on it. So then, you have to peel all of them. Those are anything which is salted together, right? Also but the primary chumrah is the aser in the piece in which in which you find the kernel of grain. And to allow the others by a little bit of peeling. Mishmur says the bir halacha. According to us, this sif is even when it's just softened, not just when it's cracked. But if it's a suffix, it became soft. You don't have to be machmir. It says so where you find the kernel grain on the bird, because then we're not sure if it touched all the birds, but if found within the bird, the other ones that require klipa, as Roshon said. The Bir Halacha also brings down that in Hefsei Merubah, such as where he's poor and it's a large and significant piece, or there's a curtailment of Simchas Yotiv, sounds about time he can be lenient and rely on the opinion of Mechaber that's enough to do klipa. Also, Pichoter says it's enough to do klipa. But where it's the srachika, it just became soft, and it didn't split, perhaps you can rely on this. And perhaps also that's the case in which the Baal Time was about as well. Okay, back to Arukh HaShulchan. Bim wrote to Yuchalim Karakol Eino Yudi. Wants to sell all to a non-Jew. Sure says the Rabbah says only talking about some of the other pieces. But that piece, which you found the wheat, can't be matir because they're getting enough from the chametz. Other chayimah seem to indicate no. So here, that's only through melicha, we're allowed to sell it, even if as long as you peel it, he says here. Again, it's going to go back to the Jew. Mishnah also says, see the taz that you're allowed to hold up the other pieces until after Pesach. If they we're not sure if they touched that kernel of grain or not. But since only a suffix they touched, and you can wait till after Pesach. For the Abraham sees how he holds at the Ramah, that piece itself you're not allowed to leave around. But if perhaps it became soft and not cracked, you can lie on that and leave around till after Pesach. Yeah, so he says, you tell to a non-Jew, even though you can't do that by other mixtures of chametz. Here, really, here you can sell it, the non-Jew. This is all quote from the Chaper, I guess. The Yisbashlu Acheros will klipa mutter. If the other ones are cooked without the peel, it's okay. Shel chumra bam, it's only chumra ta'aser. Which will be there, siman tzadik aleph. Shulchan says here. Shulchan says, sorry, they're cooked without klipa. They do aser, so you do require klipa, ikar din here, in order to be able to cook with something else. But Arukh HaShulchan seems not to hold that way. He says if they're cooked with other things, even without being peeled, it's okay. But because you're there, seems like off. Nevertheless, even after you cook, you should peel again. It's just that klipa doesn't answer any other piece. Those who allow without peeling. That's where there's no issue that might come to with other pieces. But now Leo's like that feel with suffix. Arukh says, it seems to him even with suffix, as long as it didn't definitely touch, Yeshua can be lenient. This is what it says, you can matter the other ones by peeling them a little bit. In other words, when you have a suffix, maybe this piece of meat touched them or not. And even though, but that definitely didn't touch, but it did only touch one of the pieces of meat, not the other one. Nevertheless, it all require klipa. Bialacha writes that name of the Shabbos, I guess, that a piece that has a suffix, if touched or didn't touch, the piece which is chametz, or it has the grain, even it doesn't even require klipa. Okay. Okay, so he says by us, if it definitely, that Arukh said it definitely didn't touch, we can make it's slated. That klipa kashim okay, that the husk of the grain is very strong, and so permeable. Permeable? Whatever. Because the husk is very hard. Das camera was saying to the rabbi, so Shabbat deals who learn us so cool that even this piece is not complete also. Milach halacha ma'asim licha, nevertheless in terms of practical halacha by licha, and let's so rakos chadir blazer, you have to ask that piece of that some more than that. Memvav, essentially those should cost the koid and melicha dai b'shtifa, that was it says that for salting, it's enough to rinse it off. Pshachanu, that's Pashas. It's tiny below right there. If it's cold without any sauce, it doesn't answer. Suddenly you found a piece of wheat on the piece after you salted it, and rinsed it, put the sauce for this reason. The body lois b'shas melicha. Assume it's definitely not there. And it was salted. The mice have not. Some fellows the shas adacha would have fallen off at the time that we rinsed off the meat. Good point. But this he turns to find on the animal, not on the animal, on whatever on the piece. Even the third time goes, it's found in the animal, inside the chick. It's a head. Definitely was there previously. Women have the custom before they soak in salt, but because they check very carefully. Inside, there's no seed inside it. Arukh says we can rely on this. And therefore, if you find afterwards comments, Lamar, you would say, fell later on. Because it tested before. They checked that before. You find a wheat in the crop, which is, they're equivalent of a, not sure whatever it is. I don't know other animals have crops. Anyway, if you need zechita bezepek afilu achar melicha, even after salting kosher shreya zepek mapsik. They are well, the rest of the animal is kosher. The crop is separate. The mash is happy plus the crop. Something like besides couldn't be digested anyway. But they'll have a carve. It's likely because stuff gets digested in that in the what's the suffix again? Static. Like yeah, in the crop. Okay. If after salting and rinsing, someone's supposed to put the meat in a vessel, and then you find a kernel. If you didn't salt the meat in the keli, you toss the salt, you toss out the kernel, and the meat is permissible. If you salt it even a little bit, you toss out the piece on which you found the kernel. The rest are permitted, even without peeling. When you have total melicha, true melicha, we require klipa. Pekan she'eno melicha moeches here is only a small amount of melicha. Dayo le'asor or soratiru ba'am only around that piece itself. V'imay amelch mashu dayo le'asor k'dei netila gam b'soraticha. If you have slow, which is even a mashu, it's enough to aser k'dei netila, which is a big stretch, a finger's breadth. Also in that piece, neshish v'inosim li mashu melach. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, melach mashu. Because sometimes people put a mashu of melach, and therefore I guess I mean, that's what we're talking about. There's melch mashu. Okay, be as it may. After you find the kernel in the soaking water, before salting, the meat. Even though it's cold, so it was there for a long time. I will bust but the meat for melicha and mashim. Don't leave it there more than half an hour. There was no reason to be machmir to ask. So in also, especially because the primary halacha that which is cold does not ask as we wrote. Brackets the dad that so make a kosher any yatsul lettuce. Cold doesn't mean cold means anytime it's not yatsul lettuce. Doesn't third vessel doesn't answer. The sheni yesh machim gosh gosal musim that inside. Like the sheni those machim that even though it's bevasha umafliya umaflit, which is sufficient. Okay, and that is considered to be. But that was shemachim klisheni. It's only when the it's only when the hand jumps back in recoil, finger jumps back in recoil.